Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's me, JCreeps14 here, back with the week 9, I think week 9 of PEBA or PEBA, and today we're going to be facing Kairak, and here's the little team builder section of this video. If you want to go straight to the battle, there's a little time frame right down at the bottom. You just slide your little cursor on over to that designated time, and boom, you'll be in the battle. But anyways, leading off our team is our captain, Quicksilver, the Weavile, holding the Life Orb with Ice Shard, Low Kick, Knockoff, Icicle Crash. Just a solid stab, 252 attack, 252 speed. Let's see, on his team, he has a 250 speed Pokemon, I believe. And it is... crap, what was it? Maybe he doesn't, but I think I wanted to outspeed some Scarfer. I don't know. I forgot why I put so much speed in it. But yeah, this is going to be Weavile. Just a really powerful wall breaker on the physical side. It's got great stabs so that it really hits quite a bit of Pokemon on his team. The Ice Shard is really going to be helpful for Mega Sceptile, as that's 4 times weak to Ice. And then I brought the Low Kick for the Heatran, as that thing can be quite an issue for a Weavile that doesn't have Low Kick. But anyways, moving on is Factory, the Steelix. This thing did phenomenal in week 1, but hasn't been seen since. And I've been wanting to get Steelix back on the field at some time, but just haven't really found a good matchup. Here I feel like it can really be a good physical wall for me, with threats like Alolan Muck, Crabominal, Physical Electivire, Kamala even, Lycanroc Knight, and Marowak. Actually Minior. This thing is like mainly for Minior, as I was looking through its moveset and it really can't touch Steelix, and I don't want that thing shell smashing and sweeping my team, as that was kind of an issue, as I thought. So we got Steelix here with the sturdy Heavy Slam, will OHKO it, and then Earthquake, and Earthquake is just for coverage, especially on that Alolan Muck and the Lycanroc Knight. This is kind of just a good, really solid wall against this team. And Stealth Rock Roar is just for hazards and phasing out, so that to get a little bit of chip damage on the Pokemon that he brings. Next up is Undergrowth, the Mega Venusaur. This is going to be a especially defensive Mega Venusaur, complementing Steelix really nice this week. With the thick fat, it can handle the Heatran really nicely. That's why I brought the Earthquake on it, to try to catch that Heatran off guard. Also, it hits the Alolan Muck pretty well with the Earthquake, and Alolan Muck can't really touch this thing a whole lot. I do have a minus defense nature, which hopefully that won't hurt me too much, but I needed more special defense and both sides of the attack to hit the Heatran and the Alolan Muck harder with the Earthquake. And then Giga Drain Sludge Bomb is just there for coverage, and I decided to run Synthesis to keep Venusaur healthy this week. Moving on, we got Rotom Wash with the Assault Vest. Actually, this is a Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Dark Pulse, Thunderbolt Rotom, as he's got the really the only thing that walls us is the Mega Sceptile, which has the Lightning Rod ability, so I got to be kind of careful with that. That's why we're bringing Dark Pulse, so that we can actually hit that thing, along with Z Gothitelle, so it can't trap us. This thing is great because it can really hit a ton of things. The Heatran, the Minior, the Primarina, the Cofagrigus, the let's see, not Crabominal, but yeah, Lycanroc Knight, Marowak, and Gothitelle. Just this coverage is really nice on his team, and as you can see, it's got a pretty good special attack stat in 105, so we should be doing quite a bit of damage with this Rotom. And I put some HP into it so that it can take some hits. Let's see, this speed is to outrun, I think Heatran. It's to outrun a non-invested Heatran, and let's see, and I don't know, something else. But anyways, that's going to be our Rotom. Spin Cycle. Moving on, we got Make-A-Wish with a Banded Jirachi here, as I feel like this can really punch holes through his team. I didn't really need to... I felt like I could lock myself into one move as long as that move was really powerful. And its speed will outspeed everything on its team, actually, barring the Mega Sceptile, because that thing is super fast, and Minior with a Shell Smash up. But otherwise, I just thought that Iron Head, Ice Punch, Drain Punch, U-Turn, just to get off some really powerful Choice Banded damage with this Jirachi, could really help me for some of my sweepers like the Rotom Wash and the Weavile. But moving on, we got Togekiss. This is my counter for Mega Sceptile, as so far kind of weak to that, as I do have the Air Slash, the Aura Sphere, Defog, and Roost. Aura Spheres to hit things like the or that I can't hit with the Air Slash, like the Minior, like the Heatran. Heatran is a big one. If I could just get an Aura Sphere off to maybe like pick up a last minute KO, as if I have some other damage on it. But anyway, so yeah, that's going to be Togekiss, max special defense, and a physically attacking Sceptile can't really do much to me anyways. So anyways, that's going to be our team. Let's head to the battle. And welcome back to the battle, everybody. So here we're going to be facing Kairak. He's got a solid team of Primarina, Heatran, Electivire, Alolan Muck, Cofagrigus, and Mega Sceptile. He's got the full Fire, Water, Steel core, or Fire, Water, Grass core there with the Primarina, Heatran, and Sceptile, so I gotta watch out for that. But anyways, looking at possible leads, I really want to get my Mega off with the Venusaur so that I can get that thick fat ability to eat hits from the Heatran, along with maybe a possible Ice Beam from the Primarina. But yeah, I really want to prioritize that, so I'm going to lead out with my Venusaur. It actually has a pretty good matchup this week. I am carrying the Earthquake to take on that Heatran, as I'm thinking that he might want to get up rocks, because I do have the Togekiss and the Weavile that are both weak to rocks, and Togekiss is probably going to be my defogger as it looks to him. So if I were him, I want to get rocks up as soon as possible. But anyways, let's see what happens. He does lead out with Rumble Heat the Heatran, as I lead out with Undergrowth the Mega Venusaur. Here I'm just going to Mega Evolve and Quick Earthquake. Quick Earthquake, as it'll do a bunch of damage to him, as he fires off a Fire Blast and does 38%, but dude, our Earthquake does 97.8%, almost kills him, but just not enough EVs in attack. But anyway, so here he goes into Rainbow Joe the Alolan Muck, as I go into Spin Cycle, as I am Assault Vested, and just Volt Switch on him, as I'm actually kind of surprised that he swapped out, but I am able to go ahead and hop into Make-A-Wish, as it puts quite a bit of pressure on his team. It is banded and it has a bunch of coverage. Anyways, he goes into Rainbow Joe, and I'm fearing an Earthquake, and so I go into my my Factory, which is just the defensive wall that I have, and he has knockoff Fire Blast for me, and so pretty good prep on his end, as I just set up my rocks, as I want that residual damage on him. And anyways, here I go into Spin Cycle. Don't want to take another Fire Blast. I am Salt Vested at this point, so so yeah, I can eat up that Fire Blast. Here I'm just gonna Volt Switch again, as his Sceptile is not Mega'd yet, so it can't Lightning Rod me. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't go into Electivire, but I felt like I could kind of deal with that a little bit better. So here I go into Togekiss, my Togekiss, who really can counter this thing, as I went for the Aura Sphere. Not really sure why, actually. There's no reason to go for the Aura Sphere, as his Heatran was already dead. But anyways, I click it, and anyways I go for it again, and yeah, he knows that I'm not Scarfed or Choiced or anyway, because I'm recovering health with leftovers. But here I just go into Factory, kind of sacking it off, as 2 knockoffs from this Alolan Muck will take out Steelix. He actually did pretty good though. He ate up hits from this Muck and set Rux up for me, so very nice. Going to Undergrowth, he knows that I have Earthquake, as he goes into Mummy Issues. I do just go for the Earthquake. Actually no, I went for the Synthesis just to heal up again. Keep my Venusaur healthy, because it does put a lot of pressure on his team. As I go into Spin Cycle, I don't want to get Will-O-Wisp, because that Earthquake is still a threat, as he has 2 mons weak to ground on his team still. And so here I'm just gonna, I believe that I Dark Pulse, because I do have coverage for the Cofagrigus, and damage on it would be really nice. But he goes into Geico, the Mega Sceptile, and I end up killing it with Dark Pulse. So that's really, really nice for me. Here I just Volt Switch, oh, I thought that I Volt Switched, maybe not. But I just go hard into Undergrowth, as I can take that, or I think that I can take that Gunk Shot, but it does 50% to me, a ton of damage, as I just Earthquake the Muck, as he actually knockoffs and opts not to 2-ko me. As here I just go for the Synthesis. I know that at some point he'll miss this Gunk Shot, because it's not that accurate, so I'm just going to keep healing up until that happens. I do outspeed, so there's the miss of the Gunk Shot, pretty nice for me, as I will just Earthquake again, as he goes into Cofagrigus the Mummy Issues. And right now sitting in pretty good health with Venusaur, and I feel like he'll overpredict, and so I just go for the Giga Drain, but he actually just stays in and clicks Will-O-Wisp, as he knows that I had Dark Pulse on Rotom, and I felt like it was such an obvious switch that he'd just go for the kill on Rotom. But anyways, now we're in here with Quicksilver, as the Pain Split does give him back some health. I'm just going to click Knockoff thing and I'll kill him, but he actually prepped really well and put a Culver Berry on this Cofagrigus, So knockoff won't be doing a whole lot, and Weavile is really hurting from that Will-O-Wisp. But I can still OHKO him now with the, or not OHKO, but I can still kill him with the knockoff at this point, as he will go into the Primarina, I believe. Yeah, Aerial comes out, and Quicksilver has really done its job. It can't really do anything more because of its burn. So I go into Togekiss. It is especially defensive, and it can eat up hits from this Primarina, even an Ice Beam, actually. But anyways, it goes for the Skull, does 38%. That does more damage than I thought it would. Here I just roost up to get my Togekiss back up to full HP, as kind of just scouting to see if that Primarina was maybe choice or if it had Ice Beam. But here I go into Undergrowth because I know that I can take any electric move or any fire move that thing wants to throw at me. Next up, he goes into Aerial, and I know this thing gets Psychic coverage for Venusaur, so I end up just going into Make-A-Wish, predicting the Psychic, which is what he goes for. Very nice. And 11% on a Make-A-Wish. The special defense drop is kind of unfortunate, but here I think that I just U-turn out, as he goes into Alolan Muck, which dies to Stealth Rock. So, oh, I do Iron Head. But that means that Steelix does pick up a kill. Here goes into Electivira. I think that Rotom can take a hit pretty well, but he goes for the Wild Charge, and I know this thing has to be banded because otherwise that probably wouldn't have killed me, as that is a powerful, powerful Wild Charge. But here I can just go into Make-A-Wish, get the flinch. Another banded Wild Charge would not kill Make-A-Wish because it's resisted, as I can 2-KO it with the Iron Head, so flinch really didn't matter there. And Aerial comes in, takes 12% from rocks, and an Iron Head will finish off the Primarina, and we pick up the 4-0 against Kairak. Very good battle. I did ask him in chat if the Electivire was banded, and he said yes. So, yeah, I was kind of confused why Rotom died at that point. But anyways, so yeah, shoutouts to Kairak, great battle. Really fun facing him, and now we move on to... let's see, I think we have DeBoss next. He's a really tough opponent, so we got to prep pretty well for him. And yeah, so your Baytown Blue Shells are now 6-3, I believe. 6-3 plus 12 differential. I don't know, it's something like that. But anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Be sure to root on your Baytown Blue Shells, and we'll see you next week.